This 9 Sports Special is sponsored by Aero Pest Control, FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, Mike Anderson Seafood, and Window World.
It was LSU's first College World Series game. LSU! LSU! LSU!
He was a motivator, a visionary, a dynasty builder. Tonight, a special look back at the remarkable life of LSU legend Skip Bertman. We're hearing from the coaches he inspired, the players he mentored, and the fans who lived for Omaha. We'll bring you newly uncovered footage of some of the 11 trips to the College World Series that laid the foundation for 5 national championships. How his legacy as athletic director forever changed LSU women's athletics. Told by 2 championship female coaches who say he made all the difference. In his own words, the iconic story of the rope, the ultimate symbol of Tiger grit. A champion of champions. Tonight we remember the Skipper.
Good evening and welcome as we celebrate the life of LSU legend Skip Bertman. I'm Jacques Doucet. Tomorrow marks 1 week since Coach Bertman passed away at the age of 88. Next week, LSU will host a celebration of life in his honor. One of his 4 beloved daughters, Lori, spoke to us about the incredible outpouring of support the family has felt in the days since his passing and the many people they've heard from.
Billie Jean King was one of them. I mean, but that didn't surprise me. You know, her brother played baseball and she's involved with the Dodgers, but I used to work with her. But she, you know, I think it just shows that she even knew what a special person he was and for the sport.
That comfort is shared by so many because the reaction to Coach Bertman's passing has reached far beyond Baton Rouge, touching every corner of the baseball world. From the legends he championed on the field to the coaches who followed in his giant footsteps. We take a look at his unmatched legacy through the eyes of the people who knew, loved, and learned from the Skipper.
Honestly, really grateful, you know, the 5 years that I've been here and the relationship that I was able to build with Coach Bertman has by far been the best part of being the coach at LSU. The man that I looked at as the pinnacle of my profession, you know, the greatest college baseball coach to ever do it, and to be here at his program beyond like a dream come true.
My only goal when I came here was to make Skip proud. And I knew what the expectations were here, and there was no avoiding that, and I embraced them. But my biggest thing was if Skip was proud of me, then I felt like I would have succeeded. And I just love the guy. He's been like a father to me, and it almost feels like losing my dad all over again.
I'm choosing to celebrate. I am so fortunate and grateful and thankful to have had the opportunity to spend some time, the time that I had with Coach, and man, I'm so lucky and fortunate.
I was an 18-year-old walk-on from nowhere, New York, and he picked me out of a crowd as a left-handed pitcher that could throw strikes, couldn't break a pane of glass, but he was good to have around practice. He said to me many times, he said, "You weren't even a walk-on, you were a limp-on." And so, but probably my proudest thing through all the years is he was my best friend. Tough one. This one's going to take a while. This one's going to take a while.
Not concerned about race, where you came from, what religion you were, what you believed. He was a nice man, and he helped all people, regardless. Whether, you know, in those sports, you know, the athletic department needs to make money, this, that, and the other, and he knew that, and he did that, but he was in for everybody to help them go. I mean, he was really, really kind and giving of his knowledge across the board.
Maybe his greatest skill was to get the rest of the players to believe. His greatest skill was, you know, it was a self-esteem machine, and to get the fans to believe, get the players to believe, he got the players to play their very best when it meant the most.
Our old colleague turned TV guy, Lee Feinswag, posted a clip of him from an interview from 1996, and he was talking about a game at Tulane. He said, I went out to change pictures, and his daughter, Lisa, who unfortunately preceded him in passing away, was a student at the Tulane at the time. He said, I'm walking back to the dugout and somebody's holding up a big white sign that says, not even Skip's kid goes to LSU. He goes, that was a good one. Some of the most enjoyable days I've ever had, just pure joy, were practice days of the College World Series. He'd let the assistants run practice and he's telling stories in the dugout with a cigar and just no one could tell a story like Skip Bertman. He was the best.
We made it after a 20-hour ride.
On deck in our special, how Coach Bertman made Omaha a household name for Tiger fans. Plus,
Thanks, every one of you, for coming.
a woman who witnessed the magic from the stands shares what those championship runs meant to the skipper. Skip Bertman and his LSU Tigers made the trip to the College World Series 11 times. As Matt Venezia shows us, thanks to the skipper, the road to Omaha has become a cherished purple and gold tradition.
Then Jeff Rebele grounded this nubber and Tootie's spine, couldn't come up with it. Hartwig scored. LSU had the lead. And to preserve the victory, Stan Lower got this pinch hit ground out, and LSU was on its way to the College World Series.
Deep in the archives, we found this report from 1986 as the LSU Tigers prepared to head to Omaha and the College World Series for the very first time.
I feel a lot of satisfaction for the players who really worked hard all year, really deserve something like this.
As the team and fans packed into Rosenblatt Stadium, the coach's late wife, Sandy, was in the stands.
We had a fine team, and we didn't play as well as we could have played. I don't know if we would have won it. We didn't have a lot of poise because we hadn't been there before, but we could have done a lot better than we did.
That first trip in '86 sparked a golden era. 11 trips to Omaha in total, with some Tiger fans driving through the night just to get there.
Saturday morning, we made it after a 20-hour ride yesterday. Getting ready to go see the Tigers win the game today.
By the year 2000, Omaha was a purple and gold pilgrimage. Among the Tiger faithful packing the stands that year, Associate Athletic Director Ronna Gray.
Well, especially in the early years in the old Rosenblatt Stadium, it was really a special environment.
And yes, the Tigers won that year in a dramatic come-from-behind victory.
I think I went 6 years, and 4 of those we won national championships. And you could see the momentum building each year. Fans went, experienced it, loved it, started planning their vacations around it.
And the head coach, number 15, Skip Bertman.
For Skip Bertman, Omaha was not just a destination. It was a plan he methodically mapped out before the first pitch of every single season.
Well, he had a great career, second career, if you will, as athletic director. But I think fans will remember him as Skip, and they'll remember him for what he gave, the gift he gave to LSU, and that is a baseball tradition like no other in America.
Next in our lineup, 2 women who saw the magic up close reveal how the skipper's leadership changed the game for them. Plus,
I put the signs up so there is no I in the word team.
The ultimate motivation. Coach Bertman reveals the life-changing lesson behind the rope. 2 of LSU's most legendary female head coaches and at least 1 legendary women's assistant coach say Skip Bertman, during his time as LSU's athletic director, was one of the secrets to their success. This week, they shared how the skipper helped shape their championship programs.
His wisdom was wise. And it was. You know, some people are just wise and they pontificate and they talk, but he was careful in things that he would tell me, the wise advice that he gave me, because he knew I was going to take it and run with it. When Skip became athletic director, the trajectory of women's athletics and gymnastics at LSU took a very positive turn. And
when he became the AD, he wanted everyone to win. He didn't care what gender you were, he wanted LSU to be good and great in everything.
The building of the new stadium, too.
A huge role. He fought for it. You know, every time there was a delay, he'd come and say, I'm sorry, you know, we are going to get you what you want. You know, he'd come to the games. He'd call me after big wins. He was very, very influential, and I you know, he was just the bomb.
And I first joined the staff, and Coach Gunner gave me a file folder that said Fast Break Club, and there were 9 names. He gave me the formula about how you tier it. He said the number one thing that you want to do with your booster club is you want to have accessibility. He said create events where they can talk to you, touch you, hug you, and you cannot have too many of those events. Make sure you get involved in community action. Make sure you're speaking at all these things. So we took that formula and we did it. And by the time I left LSU the first time, we had over 300 Fast Break Club members, best AD I've ever been around. He coached the coaches. I mean, he had conversations with you about how to teach better, how to communicate better. He listened to you and he understood because he had coached. It's hard to explain unless you were there, but he was by far the best. He was special. And I'll never forget this because I've never heard another AD say it. He said, I will never tell you no. He goes, I might not be able to give you a hard yes, but if you're going to sit there and tell me you need this for your program to win, we'll find a way to do it.
It was a relationship built on mutual respect and championship success. Former LSU head football coach Nick Saban now reacting to the passing of his former athletic director, Skip Bertman.
Skip was an icon as a coach. I think his knowledge of human behavior, how to motivate people, how to get the best out of people, his leadership style was, you know, unique. Obviously as successful as anybody in our profession in any sport. I had a great relationship with him. I loved him. You know, he and I raised, you know, the money to build the academic center there way back when, and he was always supportive and helpful. And when he became AD, he did nothing but serve us well and gave me a lot of good coaching points that helped me develop as a coach. I've never been around anybody that had a better sense of humor. You know, he's a great speaker, could bring people together, make them laugh. I just always had a tremendous amount of respect for Skip as a person, as a coach, as a leader, as an athletic director. He's an icon, and I think he'll always be remembered as that.
And I pull out a rope just like this one.
Up next, the skipper himself with the story of a rope and how it's motivated so many.
Back in 2001, our sports special Skip Bertman, architect of a dynasty, aired his famous rope story. Tonight, we thought it was only fitting to show it again. Sit back and listen as the skipper shares the inspiration that has motivated generations of champions.
And that was the problem that I had in the beginning. I couldn't get the boys to stay together. I did all the things you're supposed to do. I bought a t-shirt with a big team and a little me on it. I put the signs up, said there is no I in the word team. See, I did that. I spoke to them, we ate together, we did the things, but the kids couldn't feel the commitment and the goal setting and the vision as one. When I started, I told them a story. I told them the same story that my football coach told me in high school, and I'm sure his football coach told him. And I pulled out a rope just like this one, and I threw it over the edge of my desk, just like this. And I said to the guys in 1983, if you were on the other end of the rope, nothing below you but a 3,000-foot fall, who would you want on this end to hold the rope, knowing his hands were so strong, his dedication so great, his love for you so great, that he never let go of that rope? In the first year, I couldn't get an answer from the boys, so help me, just a couple. They didn't understand. And people say to me, well, when did it happen, Coach? A lot of media people do. When did you know you had it? And I'm going to tell you exactly when, and so help me God, this is the truth, and I've told it in many seminars. The story never changes. In 1985, I did it again. And I said, who would you want holding on to the rope? And Robbie Smith, the senior from Miami, said, I'd like John Dixon, first baseman from Indian River. And Pat Kuntz from New Orleans said, well, I'd like Mantrana. And then another Snyder said, you know, I'd like Morgan. And Gasper said, I'd like Stan Lower. And the names went on. Finally, when I went outside, I said, look, guys, when you tell me that it doesn't matter who holds the other end of this rope, as long as he's a teammate of mine, then I know he'll never let go because he loves me as a teammate. He has the same goals that I have. His resolve is so great, his vision the same. He'd never let go. Then we have a team. We're going to think better together. We're going to play better together. You won't have to worry who's covering the base or if they're running the right spot. We'll all be thinking alike and so on. Not much was mentioned. We had a good team. It was in my second year. And we ended up at Auburn University again at the final game of the season. We had to win 2 out of 3 to be the Western champs, and Mississippi State had to win all 3. On Saturday, we split, so obviously it came to the final game on Sunday. On Sunday, the final game ended 8-8 at the end of 9 regulation innings. Are we going to win the first championship? I said to the guys. The first one since 1975. The last one was 68 before that. I said, guys, we're ready. We believe. We're sincere. We can do it. And we got ahead in the 10th inning, and a fly ball was hit to Mantrana, so help me God, in left field. Because as I told you, he didn't play well at second base. He was put in left field, and the ball just, we were going to win with 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th. And it fell to the ground. Nobody anticipated him catching it. Nobody went out of the dugout. It just fell to the ground. And of course, everybody's head went down. And my job, of course, I went back and said, don't give up. We're okay. Be sincere about it. We deserve to win. It's okay to win. 2 innings later, we went ahead. With a man at second base and 2 outs in the 11th inning now, or 13th inning, Eric Hetzel, who pitched the day before, was on the mound. He pitches for the Boston Red Sox today. And Hetzel, I called timeout. I looked for this batter that the Auburn coach, who had nothing to really win that day, set up to bat. He had never hit before, so help me God. His first one. This is the last game of the season. So I went to the mound and I said to him, listen, Eric, this guy has never hit before. We will overpower him with 3 fastballs and we will win. But he didn't make eye contact with me. He knew he should win, but he wasn't positive. And he threw 2 strikes, and the guy did swing meekly at 1. And so help me God, when it was 0-2, he kind of reached out, extended like I am, and the ball hit the end of his aluminum bat, spun over the third baseman's head, was hit so softly that the shortstop picked it up, not the left fielder. But of course the runs scored, and the game again was tied. And the heads went down, and I said, we can do it. We can believe. And in the 14th inning, when we went ahead again, and there were 2 outs with a man at second base, Stan Lower, first today, Mitch Gaspert's best friend today, and one of our first recruits from Eunice was on the mound. He too had pitched the day before. And Stan was fiddling around with 2 outs and a man at third base and a good hitter up. And Robbie Smith, I'll never forget it. People ask me, when did it happen? It happened that day. It happened right then. Robbie Smith stood up on the edge of the dugout, and he cupped his hands, and he said, Stan, hold on to the rope. Hold on. And it spread down like wildfire down the dugout. And Marty Lanou at third base said, hold on to the rope, Stan. And Jeff Rebele at short said, hold on to the rope. Andy Gailey at second base called timeout, went in, he says, hold on to the rope. And Stan seemed to grow on the mound. He got a couple strikes on the hitter, and the guy hit a grounder to the third baseman. As soon as the ball was hit, all the people in the dugout started to run out because there wasn't any doubt that the third baseman was going to catch it and throw it to first, and of course he did. They believed.
Some of our favorite sights and sounds of Skip Bertman's LSU baseball. Next.
This 9 Sports Special is sponsored by Window World.
Well, it's been said many times this week, LSU's Skip Bertman was one of one. He's touched so many lives and left us with so many great memories. Thanks for spending this time with us. as we honor the life and legacy of the skipper.
Two most important words. Thank you. Most important word is we.
This 9 Sports Special was sponsored by Aero Pest Control, FMOL Health Our Lady of the Lake, Mike Anderson Seafood, and Window World.